Hi, my name's Adora Svitak. At the age of 7, I published my first book, Flying Fingers, and more recently, I published a second book, Dancing Fingers, which is a book of poetry, with my older sister, Adriana. Today, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about texting minus trouble. I'll give you a field guide on how to text without trouble, because apparently at least 12 billion text messages crossed AT&T's network in the third quarter of 2006 alone. And that's just one company. With all those text messages going back and forth, there's bound to be trouble somewhere. And there is. In a disturbing trend, more teenagers are sending naked pictures of themselves or of others to friends and classmates, and this can land you in jail. So it's important to watch what you text. Here are a few tips to stay safe. 1, as I talked about, do not send naked or semi-naked pictures or videos of anyone to others. Do not text while driving. You might be wondering about the texting while driving. Well, this is because you want to make sure that you are not distracted while behind the wheel, and many teenagers have reported that. In fact, in the fatal train accident in California, the conductor of that train was actually text messaging just mere seconds before it collided. Do not use text messaging, or anything for that matter, to cheat on tests. In another alarming trend, many teenagers and many also even college students are using their cell phones as tools to cheat, and this can get you thrown out of your college. Do not use text lingo in formal writing. Not only am I a writer, but I'm also a teacher. I teach every day through video commenting, and when I speak to teachers, sometimes they mention that their students are getting so used to texting that they're starting to use LOLs and emoticons in their own formal English assignments, and this is something you really want to avoid because this can get you a lower grade. Do not use text messaging or anything else to insult, bully, or threaten others. And do not text message too much. You might be wondering, what do I mean by too much? Well, one teenage girl texted a record 14,528 texts in 1 month. So stay well under 14,000. And that's going to rack up a huge bill. So if you're a teenager or a tween, ask your parents how much money they're willing to spend on your texts. In general, you probably shouldn't send more than 15 texts per day. Do not send text messages that you'd be embarrassed for your parents to see, because more likely than not, your parents might want to see what you are texting, and you don't want to have to cover up anything. Do not start text messaging if you have nothing to say. And apparently text messaging can be as addictive as smoking a cigarette. I found that on Wikipedia. And so don't just start text messaging because you're bored or because you're lonely. There are way better things you can do with your time, trust me. When text messaging, do not give out any financial information such as credit card numbers, because sometimes your cell phones aren't very defendable and people who you're not texting to can actually see those things, and this applies to IMing as well. Remember your manners. You wouldn't say rude things to someone's face, or at least I hope you wouldn't. So don't say them in a text. And this also applies to IMing, emailing, and many other styles of digital communication where lots of people are complaining that etiquette is kind of falling away. So one general rule is say something out loud. If it's so insulting that you wouldn't say it to someone's face, don't say it in a text. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed listening to this field guide to texting minus trouble, and I hope that you take these lessons to heart.